As trade talks in the San Francisco organization heat up regarding Trey Lance, there have also been reports that if Aaron Rodgers' deal with the Jets falls out, the Packers could trade him to the 49ers. And this was really spearheaded by Tiki Barber, a former NFL running back. Here's what Tiki Barber said on the show. All of this little simmering, it's not even like smoke coming out of this thing. It's just a little crinkling of flames starting to burgeon up under the leaves about Aaron Rodgers actually going to the 49ers as opposed to the Jets now. And the big reason Tiki Barber sees 49ers going out and making this trade happen if the deal with the Jets falls through is that the 49ers are a playoff ready team, and if they trade Trey Lance and Brock Purdy might not be ready, they're kind of left out there with only Sam Darnold, which he doesn't seem as a fit for the 49ers. A big factor when discussing this deal is the team currently talking with the Packers about trading for Aaron Rodgers, and that's the Jets. Their talks currently have stalled, according to Adam Schefter. So with all this being said, what would it exactly take to get Aaron Rodgers? And there has been a report that the conversation has been multiple third-round picks in this draft and a first-round draft pick in next year's draft, which the 49ers could feasibly do and get Aaron Rodgers. The only constraint is they're going to be up against the cap soon, and they need to sign Nick Bosa. Aaron Rodgers is also scheduled to make around $60 million, which is a boatload of money. Another important factor for the 49ers to consider is how old Aaron Rodgers actually is. He's 39, and last year in 2022, he had his worst season statistically. He had 3,695 yards, 26 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and 91.1 rating. In comparison, in 2020, his quarterback completion percentage was 70.7. His yards was 4,299. His touchdowns were 48. He only threw 5 interceptions, and his quarterback rating was 121.5. And this discrepancy in stats shows that Aaron Rodgers may be falling off and may not be the quarterback he once was. And I know that's kind of crazy to say, but he is 39, like I mentioned. And is it worth the 49ers giving up how much they need to get up to go get him, plus pay him $60 million? When you do have quarterbacks like Trey Lance, Sam Darnold, and Brock Purdy on your roster, which would enable you to keep players like Nick Bosa and maybe even Brandon Ayuk. Which brings me to what I think is most realistic for the 49ers. If they were to trade away Trey Lance, the current report is that Trey Lance is worth a late second to them. So that doesn't really give them a huge return on investment. And then they have to take a gamble that Aaron Rodgers isn't falling off. And the 49ers fan base doesn't really ever get to see what Trey Lance could have been in a 49ers uniform. Rather, I would like to see whoever's better start the season. And if Brock Purdy's not ready to start the season, I imagine that's going to be Trey Lance over Sam Darnold for several reasons. One of the most important factors is just learning Kyle Shanahan's offense. Everyone mentions that it takes at least a year to actually get it down. And Trey Lance has been in the offense for several years now, making it more likely that he understands exactly what Kyle Shanahan wants him to do and how he wants to execute his play calls. Trey Lance has also been practicing with Patrick Mahomes, and the clip that came out shows Trey Lance has improved mechanics, highlighting his work on his craft and possibly a jump from year 2 to year 3, and he could fill in adequately until Brock Purdy arrived. And Brock Purdy's surgery was a success, and his rehab is going according to plan. He's able to finally take off that cast, get some more movement in. He's at the facility working out with the guys. He's able to do conditioning on his lower body, work out his lower body, get the playbook in. And I think this really ramps up to nice quarterback competition that these younger quarterbacks on cheaper rookie deals can push each other to excel in the 49ers offense. John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan have also made it abundantly clear they're able to have such a strong roster because the rookie quarterback pay scale compared to someone like Aaron Rodgers. While they would love to have an Aaron Rodgers, they don't want to get in the same situation they were in with paying Jimmy Garoppolo like a top 10 quarterback, even though he wasn't a top 10 quarterback. You really only want to pay the guys, according to John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, that are guys like Mahomes or Rodgers, which is why the 49ers have been linked to this deal, despite them saying they would like their situation at quarterback and their cap at quarterback. I want to conclude this video about talking about Trey Lance, trade talks, and what it actually means for the quarterback situation for the 49ers. If you didn't know, the 49ers have been receiving phone calls regarding Trey Lance, and they have received offers for Trey Lance. One of those teams that are super interested about Trey Lance are the Vikings. They even had talks with the 49ers dating back to the Combine. And what this signifies to me is that the 49ers have a high degree of hope that Brock Purdy, and maybe not even hope, but they've seen it with their own eyes, that Brock Purdy is the quarterback for the franchise. And there's a couple reasons why I actually agree that Brock Purdy looks like the franchise quarterback, especially if he's healthy enough to play this season and still has the same amount of arm strength and all that he had prior to his injury. Brock Purdy is probably one of the most cool and collected 49ers quarterbacks I've seen in the Kyle Shanahan system. He looked way above Jimmy Garoppolo and way above Trey Lance too. He made these off-schedule plays, and the whole time he was cool as a cucumber doing it. It was really something special, and I can't remember a time under Shanahan that the offense operated so efficiently. And a big part of Brock Purdy's success is his pocket awareness and his decisiveness of where to actually go with the football. He understands what defenses are trying to do with him. And a big part of him having that much experience and understanding what it takes to win these games is the amount of experience he had in college. And this carried over well to the NFL, where he played on a much more talented team, where he realized his role wasn't to do everything like it was at times in college, but rather distribute the ball to all of the playmakers. I mean, when you have Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey, it really helps you relax as a quarterback. And him relaxing and filling his role in Kyle Shanahan's offense allowed him to be one of the top statistical quarterbacks during the period he was playing last year. For all of those reasons, I would really like the San Francisco 49ers not to trade for Aaron Rodgers, even though it may be super enticing. You have to give up so many picks to go out and get him, which weakens your team for the foreseeable future. Plus, you have to degrade your team further by giving so much cap money to the quarterback position not previously allocated, and you probably lose guys like Brandon Ayuk and maybe even more important guys down the road. But now that I just gave my thoughts on the Aaron Rodgers to the San Francisco 49ers situation, I want to hear your thoughts down below. It would also mean a ton if you subscribe and like this video. Thank you guys so much.